couple minutes late here. I apologize. I'm doing this for the first time on my computer. Past couple of weeks, I've been doing lives. I've been doing it on my phone, and there's a lot more settings when you do it on the computer. But I wanted the horizontal. I don't like filming things in vertical format. Personally, just really don't care for it very much. So sorry if I was just about a minute late on here. And let me know if you can hear me okay. Maybe just give me a thumbs up or something if you can hear me okay. Hello. Hello, Sanwar1. Just give me like a thumbs up or something, or say okay maybe in the chat if you can hear me okay. Perfect. Thanks. Again, just doing it for the first time on my computer. I've never done it live this way. So we'll give everybody a few more minutes to jump on. Where's everybody? You can just say the state maybe if you want to. Maybe where's everybody kind of on the stream from? What state are you in? Oh, Atlanta. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I've been to Atlanta a few times. Well, I used to live in Florida. So Atlanta's it's a drive, but it's not you know, pretty much anywhere you're going to go in the South is going to take you through Atlanta. Especially because I have family and friends stuff up in Tennessee. I don't really actually have any family up there anymore, but in Tennessee I still have some friends. So oh, Pennsylvania. I went through Pennsylvania too. So I would go through Atlanta a lot. Yeah. Actually, to be honest with you, sometimes I go around Atlanta because traffic in Atlanta is it's not always the greatest. It's just not easy to work with. I'm gonna wipe off the camera real quick. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Seemed a little smudgy to me. Oh, cool. I'm a truck driver. When you're going through Atlanta, just stay on that left. Yes, yes. Hey, Brian. Yeah, from Omaha, right? Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Actually, Atlanta was bad, but Denver was way worse for traffic in my experience. Yeah, Denver was like so bad for traffic. Yeah. In fact, I know someone that lives around the Denver area. I visited her for like a week and a half. And I've been there twice. And every time she's like, okay, well, you have to leave at this time because you have to be back by this time just to avoid the traffic. You were undecided on where to head to next. Oh, yeah. No. So there's a really good question on the screen. In the last episode, you were undecided where to head to next as you figure out where you wanted to spend the next month or so. No. And that's probably something that's going to start happening for me. I'm probably going to end up slowing down and spending. I don't know about a month. A month is a long time for me to spend in a place, but I probably will start slowing down a little bit and spending a little bit more time in a place because I left June 1st of 2024, so it's kind of like the dead of summer, especially in Florida, and I headed east, and my whole goal was to spend kind of the summer east, northeast that is, New England area. And then I jetted across the country westward, and as the temperature started to drop as I got to Colorado, I started heading south. And my goal was really to get down here to Arizona, where I still am, for the wintertime, and it's perfect. I'm out here in shorts. I absolutely love it. It is like, yeah, 76 degrees right now. It is amazing. So that was really the only kind of reason I was kind of going so quickly through 2024 is because I knew by Octoberish in Colorado, when I planned to get there, was going to be on the cooler side. It was going to start getting cool on the cooler side, which I was pretty dead on the money for about that. So now that I'm down here in the South, I don't know where I'm going to do. I may go into Southern California. I do have some friends in Southern California that I would like to see. So we'll see. Traffic in Atlanta is insane. I have a 20-mile commute to work and it takes me an hour and 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. I worked for about 5 months in San Jose, California. And San Jose, California, it's Silicon Valley, right? So there's Apple, there's Google, there's Facebook, there's just tons of tech companies. And it's just a heavy population. Doesn't matter if there's tech companies or not. It's just a heavy population there. And so many people would commute, Yeah, like an hour and a half, 2 hours one way to get to work because mostly because of the cost of living in, all of California is pretty expensive, but especially in the Silicon Valley area. I remember talking to somebody there and she said, yeah, they expect everyone in Silicon Valley who lives in San Jose to be the next Mark Zuckerberg and that you make $1 billion. So literally, and I'm not even joking, literally every house you look at is $1 million or more. It's just insane. So most people were living outside an hour and a half, 2 hours away because that's the cost that they could afford in their house. But that meant they had to drive 2 hours one way to get to work. It's just wow, so insane. So yeah, I don't know, kinda coming back to the question of where am I gonna go? I don't know, I might go into Southern California. I know I'm gonna stay in the South. Probably nothing more. Oh, thank you so much. Glenn's oh my gosh, helping the beer fund again. Thank you so much, Glenn. Uh, oh man, you guys are just absolutely amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, for that, donation. Thank you, Glenn. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna stay in the South probably. Probably nothing more than, like, the Phoenix line across the country. Probably nothing more above that, through February. I don't know, maybe March, we'll see. Don't have, big plans. I'll probably be heading back to the Grand Canyon in, April. I got a friend that's never been to the Grand Canyon, she really wants to go, so probably gonna be heading back to the Grand Canyon and Zion in April, but that's a little ways away. So, yeah, so I don't know. I'm really been thinking a lot about contemplating where I'm gonna head to next. It's just so nice being in shorts during the day. It's a little cool at night, but it's the desert, so it's not bad. I do have to go back to, the Quartzsite area. I'm actually so I'll let everybody know because I don't know when the video comes out. I actually have an interview with Cheap RV Living and Bob Wells, in, like, a week and a half from now, which is pretty exciting. So, uh, if you're not familiar who Bob Wells is, he's kinda like the face of nomadism, van life. He's just become the unofficial mascot, if you will. I think he's been van lifing for, like, 30 years or something, and if you Google anything on YouTube, look up anything on YouTube about van life or traveling nomadically or just traveling for a long time, you'll probably come across one of his videos that gives advice on power stations, and he'll probably give you advice on solar and places to sleep. And, he talks to tons and tons. He does a lot of interviews with people who live in a car, van, truck, SUV, uh, RV, whatever. And, just gets their what their way of life is like living in a vehicle. And he's been living in vehicles for a long time. And he actually recently converted over to a Subaru Forester. I think he was living in a ambulance apparently before that. I don't follow his channel religiously, but I think he was living in an ambulance before that. And I was at the RTR a couple weeks ago. You could win his ambulance. You could put in a donation and win his ambulance. But while I was there, they gave me a card and said to email them, and they really from Cheap RV Living. Um, but Forest is the goat. um, that, they gave me a card, they said they really wanted to do an interview with me and show my car, my setup for their channel, so, it took them a little while to get everything set up, so, I've have that coming up, but I don't know that even though I filmed the video with them in, like, a week or so, I don't know when the video will go up, because I had talked to somebody else who did a video with them, and they said it's gonna take several months for it to go up, so I will find out more after I talk to them. So the question is, since I'm leaving the Tampa area soon, I did get the National Park Pass. Perfect. Is there a gas app oh, that's a really good question actually. So Glenn asks, is there a gas app I use? There's several gas apps out there. The one I use is Gas Buddy, and Gas Buddy will give you you just put in a map, you just pull up a map of all the gas stations in your area, and it'll tell you the prices. Um, it is community based, meaning you have to other people or yourself have to put in the prices for the gas prices. But if it's on the screen of the app, and let's say it's, $2.89 at one place and it's $2.85 in another place, and it's not that much of a difference to go to the place that's just a few cents cheaper, then of course I'll go to the place that's a few cents cheaper. And then when you pull up the app, you can say inside of Gas Buddy, I'll write it in the chat. It's called Gas Buddy, so is the name of the app. And if you, again, go into the app while you're there and just say correct price, wrong price, you can correct the prices. Or sometimes there's not a price listed at all. Maybe someone before you has not suggested the price of a gas station for, low grade, mid grade, or high grade gasoline, even diesel. Then you can put it in there. And they have some sort of a reward system. I just haven't spent enough time in the app to really know what the reward system is. It's a point system. I don't know what it does. I think there's gas apps that probably make you a couple dollars. I probably just should look into that with as much gas as I do, but I don't know. I just haven't. But yeah, I use Gas Buddy, and it's really nice. If you get the Love's Truck Stop app, there you go. I think you can get 10 cents off or 5 cents off a gallon if you feel it is Love's Truck. If you fuel up at Love's Truck Stop, yeah, that's a good one. I have reward points with most gas stations that just go by your phone number. I don't actually use an app. So Racetrack, I think it's Raceway. Now I'm questioning either Raceway or Racetrack gas stations, which there's a good amount of those across the country. Shell gas stations. There's no Wawas on the West Coast. There's more Wawas on the East Coast. And then what was Shell? Oh, Mobile. Mobile has an app, and I have yet to figure out their app. I have tried and tried and tried, and I just cannot figure out how their app works. So you have to scan a QR or something like that, or put in a code, and I just cannot figure it out. I've been meaning to watch a video on just how the gas mobile app works for mobile gas stations, and I cannot figure it out. What people do on their downtime? Oh, that's a good question. What do people do on their downtime to stay entertained and sane? I listen to a lot of Ram Dass lectures, books, listen to podcasts. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't listen to those particular things, but that's kind of what I watch a lot of videos in the evening. For me to shut my brain off, just low dosage entertainment. I usually like a comedy for a movie or a TV show. So if I'm going to watch a movie, I like something that's, again, not much of a thinker. I mean, I do like thrillers and drama movies and stuff like that if I'm going to watch a show or a movie. But I like something that's kind of literally just shuts my brain off, right? It helps me get tired just to have kind of just nonsense kind of a movie. So I do like comedies. So if I want to watch a movie, a lot of times I will watch something like that. Sometimes I'm in the mood for like a documentary. Sometimes I'm in the mood for something a little bit more a drama style movie or something. But yeah, so podcasts are big. I listen to a ton of podcasts. I honestly just watch a lot of YouTube. I subscribe to Hulu and I subscribe to Disney Plus because it's like $8 a month for Hulu and it's like $9 a month if you add Disney Plus onto the Hulu subscription. So it's literally like $1 more. So I'm like, whatever. I barely use Disney Plus personally. It has The Simpsons on there, and I think that's about the only reason I got it, is I just love The Simpsons, especially the old classic ones. But yeah, I will watch a TV show occasionally. I watch a ton of YouTube, and I watch YouTube for its entertainment value. There's just content creators I watch just because I just find them entertaining, and there's nothing more than that, and that's totally fine. I think a lot of my content is just entertainment, right? And then a lot of times I'm constantly a person who likes to feed myself information. I like to teach myself. So I sometimes will watch content on I use Final Cut Pro for my video editing needs. And sometimes there's a feature in the app I want to know better. So I constantly teach myself that app. So I'm constantly watching videos on how to do something better in the app. There might be something. I watch a lot of content. I watch a channel called Think Media, and Think Media is a YouTube channel that helps you. Their whole mission is to help you make your YouTube channel better. So it's all about small channels growing. So I watch some of their content sometimes. There's a ton of channels that do that actually. And they'll give you advice on camera equipment, give you advice on how to talk to the camera, give you advice on lighting, give you advice on topics, give you advice on titles, descriptions, thumbnails, like they run the whole gambit on helping you get a better channel. So I watch content like that sometimes. So YouTube is information, but I also will watch it for entertainment value. I'm not a big reader myself personally. I know everybody keeps telling me you should just get into reading. My mind just constantly is always thinking, so I have a bad problem with sitting there and shutting my mind off because my mind's constantly thinking of something else. So when I read in the past, when I would read, I'd have to read a page 2 or 3 times because I would start to read the words on the screen, and quickly my mind drifts away and starts thinking about my day or what I have to do tomorrow or work or something with the car or whatever. So, I'm not a big reader, so I mostly listen to podcasts if I'm gonna do anything like a book or something like that. What do you do to earn money on the road? Oh, that's a good question, Nick. So I earn money a couple ways. I do make a couple dollars from YouTube. YouTube is just literally gas money. It's not that much. I think there's a big misconception that when you're a YouTuber that you make a lot of money. There are certainly YouTubers out there that do. I do not. My channel is very small. So I make a little money from YouTube. I do make most of my work is from video editing. So video editing freelance. I have a Fiverr account, and here I'll actually put a link into the chat. But I do video editing for clients. I actually just had to work today. I had to send a client a job, and so I do that. Let me see if I can get one of my gigs. I don't want to concentrate on that. I want to concentrate on this video. I'll put that in the description, my Fiverr link, because it'll take me a minute to find the link. But so I work with clients for video editing needs, whether it's business. I've done a lot of business stuff, commercial work for a business, or maybe sometimes it's personal. Sometimes most of the time it's for social media, but a lot of times it's for their website. Maybe it's an internal training program, whatever. It's just video editing. Whoever contacts me through Fiverr can say, hey, I have this video project that I need to be edited. And I just picked up another video editing job. This is an actual part-time ongoing job. It's a small company from Southern California, and I'm doing videos for that company. So I have 2 more projects tomorrow I have to wrap up with them. So mostly video editing. I have an Amazon affiliate link. I make $30 a month max on that. I do not make a lot of money on that. So, a tank of gas maybe for my Amazon affiliate link. So nothing major on that. Money on the side. Any plans to maybe spend some time traveling across Canada? Yes, that's a great question. Seems like a summer spent in Canadian Rockies might make for the great content. Yes, great question. I would love to drive across Canada. That's actually one of my goals one of these years is to spend the summer driving east to west through Canada. I have been to the Canadian Rockies. I have 2 videos up on my channel. Oh gosh, they're a good 2 years old now. They're just titled Banff, so you'd have to scroll back a little bit into my channel, and you could find those. But yeah, I definitely could do a better job. At that point in time, I don't really feel like I found my legs on my channel or really discovered what direction I wanted this channel. All the video content, I don't think I discovered how I wanted my video content to be displayed or projected rather on my channel till about 8 months ago when I started traveling just in the car. Because when I travel with the Teardrop, I didn't really know how I wanted my content to come across. I wanted more story form, if I wanted more information, if I wanted more uh, just day-to-day stuff, vlog style. So that one is more story form. It kind of is me traveling through there, but I'm not really on camera a lot. I think I would like to do a better job of going up there and giving advice on what parks to visit, times to visit, because if you go to the Banff area, it's incredibly busy in the summertime. So going to Lake Louise and Banff, Lake Louise and Moraine Lake are incredibly busy lakes, and while they're beautiful, you really have to do your planning on how to go there because parking is atrocious. There's a whole shuttle system you kind of need to know a little bit about to take advantage of the better how to get there better. Planning your day early, things like that really help. Where to sleep. Just driving the Icefields Parkway that connects Jasper to Banff National Park is absolutely stunning. So yeah, so I think I'd like to go back up to the Canadian Rockies and do like a whole, I don't want to call it a series, but a couple of videos from that area. And I think there's just so much more to Canada. I've never been to some of the provinces. I've been through Ontario, but not really spent much time. I don't even know half of them to the east. I don't know my Canadian geography that super well, but never been to like Newfoundland or anything like that. I think that'd be really cool. So yes, one of these summers I would love to spend maybe 3 months traveling across Canadian east to coast, west, coast to coast, I guess. That would be really, really cool. Legend. So yeah, so I would love to do that. And then one of these years, it's not going to happen this year, but one of these years, I'm definitely going to make it up to Alaska. But that'll be something different from Canada, like a different time of year that I go to Canada, because I only want to spend Canada in the more warmer climate. I'm not gonna say summer, but warmer, when it's not just, pouring down snow. And same thing with Alaska. And since that's really, really up there, I definitely want to hit that. When I was at the RTR, they were like, the best time to go to Alaska, I think they said, was June, March, April, May, maybe the end of May, June, July. I think they just said June, July, and August, and by September the temperature starts to drop. But they also said because that's the best time to go, it's the most insane time to go. Like, it's packed. But I don't think I would matter to me. I would deal with traffic just to be able to deal with better weather, because I do not have the experience to drive around in snow and ice and all that stuff that Canada or the Alaska gets. So I don't think I want to visit anytime outside of their summer months, their warmer months. Do you have health insurance? I do have health insurance. Great question. I got it last year. It's through the marketplace. So I'm a 1099 employee mostly. So, I am employed by this one company, but it's small time. Like, it's a small company. They don't offer health insurance or anything. Um, and then the work I do is all freelance stuff. So it's not even 1099. Is that correct? 1099? Where it's just freelance work. So I do have health insurance, but it's not through anybody. I had to contact a not a CPA, someone my brother knew, because my brother's owned his own business for many years now. So he had somebody help him set him up with health insurance, and I just contacted that person, and we just went through everything. So I do have health insurance. Yeah, in fact, I just got dental again for the first time in like a year, and so I'm really dying to go to the dentist. I'm kind of a weirdo. I like going to the dentist, but I like taking care of my teeth. So I have health insurance, I have vision insurance, I have dental insurance, I have the whole gamut right now. You can make a great Colorado trip based on just hot springs. That's true. New Mexico has some good ones as well. Yeah, that's true. There was a hot spring when I was in Colorado that I wanted to go to, but it was really cold that day. And you would think that going to a hot spring on a cold day would be great. The problem was, I think it was about a mile or two hike. I don't remember the name of the hot spring, but I want to say that the one I was looking at was like a mile or two hike, which is not bad. That's fine. But I just didn't feel like walking to a place to get in a hot spring, and then when you get out, you're wet, right? You're trying to dry off, trying to change. I just thought it'd be kind of miserable. Um, yeah, I probably should have gone, but it was not a great day. It was very overcast. I just come out of like the mountains when it was snowing and sleeting a little bit. I didn't want to do that, but yeah, uh, going up to Colorado. Colorado's just another gorgeous state. Like, I feel like so many states out in the West, Arizona. I'd love to go back into Nevada. Nevada's a great state. Nevada's great because there's just nothing there, and there's just so many places you can sleep, and there's beautiful places to see. So I love Nevada. New Mexico's another amazing state. Colorado, like, just really Utah. Just that whole area is just so gorgeous. I probably will spend some time in Nevada. In April, I have to go back up to the Grand Canyon to see a friend that she's never been to the Grand Canyon before. So I probably get there earlier and spend a week or two. I might go back to Valley of Fire State Park, which is really cool, but also maybe just some other places I haven't had a chance to explore that are just, 2 or 3 hours away from Vegas. I started a YouTube channel not to make money, but more for my family and friends. Perfect. My family. I did post one video and advice on a program to do it with. Oh, any advice? Maybe any advice on a program to do it with, other than app on my phone. So are you just Glenn? Are you just referring to video? I'm sorry, editing needs. Are you asking any program to edit the video with? Is that what you're suggesting? While he answers that, because I'm going to assume he means any advice on a program to edit with. I'm not as familiar with Windows computers. I've been using Macs pretty much my whole entire life. If you have a Mac or even an iPhone or an iPad, it comes with a program called iMovie, and it's a very, very powerful video editing program that's relatively simple to use. If video editing is brand new to you, you've never used it at all, just do a quick Google search or YouTube search on how to use iMovie for the first time. I'm sure there's a plethora of video editing. If you could drop a link. Glenn, are you referring to a video editing program specifically? Again, while he answers that, so if anybody's interested in starting a channel or something like that, I did video editing with iMovie, which comes again with a Mac, with an iPhone, with an iPad. Free program, pretty easy to use. If you've never done video editing before, again, quickly YouTube search how to use iMovie for the first time. It's a pretty simple program. If the question is more how to post your content, I just post through my web browser. Like when I go to youtube.com, there's a create button and it says create a video, post a video. I don't know if I could really, Glenn, if your question is what program to use, maybe I can get you, there's not really a link, but iMovie for Mac. I'm not as familiar with Windows-based computers, so I don't know, but here, Glenn, here's a link to iMovie for Macs, but again, they do make that for iPads and iMovie, and it comes with a Mac, an iPhone, or iPad. If you have a Windows computer or an Android phone, I am not as familiar with those, but I guarantee you there's something out there. I've heard, now I don't know anything about it, but I've heard a lot of people using a program called CapCut. I don't know if that's a website that you upload your content to and then you do the editing. Perfect. Yes, you're just referring to editing. Yeah, Glenn, check out those. Again, that's for Apple products. If you use anything else, maybe look into a program called or something called CapCut. I don't know if it's a program you download and then install onto your phone, tablet, or computer, and then edit just on your devices, or because there's a lot of video editing software programs out there that are web-based, meaning you go to a website like a URL like www.capcut.com. I don't know if that's the actual URL. Don't quote me on that. But you go to some is a decent one for Windows that's free. Okay, there you go. Shuttlepod Earth said CapCut is decent one for Windows that's free. There you go. Yeah, I don't know if CapCut is something you upload your content to the website and then you edit from there, which would work just as well. The only thing is you have to upload your content. So depending on your internet connection, that may take you a while. If you have hours of raw footage that you're just trying to condense down into like my footage is like, my final videos are like 22 minutes in length, and I have probably 2.5 hours raw format usually that I have to go through, something like that. I don't know. I'm just guessing. 2 hours of raw format. I mean, that might take you a little while. And then I usually have dozens of raw format videos because I don't shoot continuously for 2.5 hours straight. I shoot for 10 seconds. The next video is 1.5 minutes. The next video might be 22 seconds. I have all these different things. And then I would have, if it was me, I would have to upload all of those to the website and then edit if CapCut is how it works as you upload. But yeah, check out CapCut. I've heard a lot about I've heard of it, and a lot of people have said that it's gotten what they need. Yeah, I wish I knew more about other platforms. I've just not used as many other platforms in general, but also I certainly have not used most of their software programs. So although I'm not even familiar with their operating systems, let alone what the devices come with. So an Android phone, tablet, it's Android based, or Windows computer, I just don't even know what they come with. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, some places you can get music for your content, because I don't know if CapCut would offer free music or not. You're going to want copyright-free music. And while I pay for a subscription for a website called Epidemic Sound, you do not have to pay for that. You can. I don't think Epidemic Sound offers a free trial, but check out Envato Elements. Here, I'll give you the URL. Envato Elements. I pay again for Envato Elements, but you can get a free version. I used the free version for like a year. Let's go back to my live stream. Oh yeah, it's on Chrome. So this is Envato Elements. Envato Elements does free B-roll, free stock footage. So let's say that you wanted footage on screen to be a guy carrying a pizza, just only because I saw my neighbor get a pizza. Then you can find that, type in pizza delivery, something like that, and you'll find footage that someone has recorded and then put onto his website for you to freely download. It's copyright free, and you can use that footage, but also there is music on there, and you can find royalty-free songs that way. So check out Envato Elements. I'm trying to think of other things you can use for music that would be copyright free. The only ones I know of are the ones you pay for. I used not MusicBed. I've used storyblocks.com. I mean, I'll put it in the thing in the chat so you can check it out. Storyblocks. Yeah, storyblocks.com. I don't know that they offer a free version, but that is music. Storyblocks also did have not free. I don't know if it's free, but they did have B-roll stock footage. So check them out. If you're looking, again, this may cost money. Storyblocks, Envato Elements. What was the other one I used? Epidemic Sound. I think I used another one that was music, just copyright free music. In between Storyblocks and Epidemic Sound, but maybe I didn't. I've had an Epidemic Sound now for like 2 years. They've been pretty good. I would be interested to check out MusicBed. One of the content creators I follow is Christian Schaefer because she lives in a van and her content's just amazing. And she's always promoting them on there. She obviously gets like a discount or something like that if she promotes them. So she has a lot of times will say she uses MusicBed, and I'd be curious. She has really great music in hers, so I'd be curious to see what MusicBed has to offer. I think there's also one Artlist. I'll put all these in the link so you can just check them out. Again, they may all cost money, they may not. Artlist, yeah, artlist.io. I see this one advertised all over YouTube. And MusicBed. And I want to say that YouTube has some royalty-free music, although I've never used it. I know when I go to upload content, at the very, very end of my upload process, there'll be a link that says something about copyright-free music. Now, I don't know if they're just saying click here to get a copyright-free license of the songs you use, or if they're saying you can download music from them to use in your videos. So you can try those things out. Again, if you use iMovie, it has really bad free music in the app, but it does have free music that's copyright free. It's pretty basic, but you can use it. I would start with Envato Elements if you're looking for free stuff, free music, free B-roll if you need it. And then try CapCut. Maybe CapCut has music too. I have no idea. I'm an Apple guy like you. Oh, perfect. I missed that comment. Oh, perfect. Okay, Glenn. You definitely have products that have iMovie. I would I think one of the links I send you have iMovie in it. iMovie, oops. Movie for Mac. If you have a Mac, then oops, that's not where I want to go. I'll put the link again. There's download links. Your best resource is in this case, I'll send you a link. This is just from apple.com, and it just kind of talks about iMovie, and that's for the Mac. But if you, I'm sure Google, or YouTube specifically, go into youtube.com and type in iMovie for beginners, maybe if you've never used it before. iMovie for iPad, iMovie for iPhone, iMovie for Mac, followed by the words for beginners, possibly. I can assure you there's a ton of videos out there. I have not watched any of them because I'm pretty familiar with iMovie, and I haven't used iMovie in years, so I use Final Cut. Yeah, of course, Glenn, of course. Check those out. But yeah, iMovie's pretty powerful, and iMovie does green screen effects. So I've done some green screen effects. Show us your face. We want to see your face. It's here. It's here. My brother's on the line. So, yeah, my brother is chiming in, which I didn't even know that he was on here. You're supposed to be working. Why aren't you working? What's up, bro? Yeah, my brother is actually, if you didn't know, I have a brother. And Daryl looks quite a bit older than me. He should be the older brother. I'm the younger brother, but really in actuality, I'm the oldest. But Daryl definitely looks more mature than I do. I always have a baby face. I have to always say my age is. I just did a video for a collaboration with a channel called Glorious Life on Wheels. And I was not familiar with her channel until she talked to me at the RTR, and we did a video, and it just went live on her channel a couple days ago. And in the video, she's like, "Now you look like a baby. Tell everybody how old you are." So I always have to tell everybody I'm 48. Yeah. What else? So, I was just curious if anybody was looking to do a trip somewhere that maybe had any questions about a place that possibly I've been to. I don't know if there's a place I can help you out with. Like I've had some friends say that they want to go to the like Oregon or something like that, or what's that national park up in Montana? Glacier National Park. And just reach out and say, hey, what kind of advice do you have to go to Glacier National Park, or go to the Redwoods, or go to Grand Canyon or something like that? I don't know. I'm not an expert by any means, but maybe if there's a place I've been to before and I can give you advice. I don't know if there's anybody that's looking at that. You are blessed with youth. Yeah. Yes. So I don't know, but I also be happy to answer any other questions. I'm not sure what you guys have for me. It's also a lot more buttons. When you live stream on your computer, there's so many share screen. Oh, cool. You can share screen. I'm still learning live streams. I need to watch some content on live streams. So this is the stuff I would watch it in the evening to calm my how do you all do laundry? I laughed him because I'm by far that is the number one question I get asked is how do I do laundry? And I laugh only because I to answer your question, I go to laundromats. That's all I do. I just go to laundromats. They're pretty common. Yeah, they're pretty common, easy to find. They're not that hard, honestly. I do use to find a laundromat. Of course, go to Google Maps, Apple Maps, Yelp. I actually use Yelp a lot when I'm in a localized area. Yelp is really best for restaurants, I find. Laundromats, but also iOverlander. If you guys want me to, I think iOverlander is probably the most resourceful tool you can possibly have. And you don't even have to be a full-time traveler to use iOverlander or want to have maybe iOverlander on your app, maybe on your phone. That is. If you are looking to do a long-term trip, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, say, for example, maybe you're doing a cross-country trip or something like that, and you're looking to find places to stay because you know you're gonna have to stay in your vehicle a lot. You're not gonna be doing a lot of hotels. Laundromats, dry clean, laundromats rather, Wi-Fi, propane Phillips, anything like that. I can do a whole thing on how to use iOverlander because it's a very, very useful app that's free, and it helps me find all those things: water, places to sleep, Wi-Fi, laundry. So I do laundry through laundromats, and I just chuckle only because I've been using laundromats for years. I've had so many apartments that just didn't have a washer and dryer in it that way before, I'm talking like 20 years before living in a vehicle, I've been using laundromats. So it was not that challenging for me to find laundromats. Do you lock yourself in the car at night and then turn your key fob off so it doesn't drain the battery? Oh, I never even thought about the battery getting drained, actually. That's a great question. I do lock myself in the car, absolutely. And, just like I would lock my house or apartment, I don't care where I live. If I'm somewhere, I'm probably going to lock my doors at night. Same thing with the car. I'm in usually some pretty remote areas. I'm in some pretty remote areas, and I've never, ever, ever, ever felt threatened or feel like I'm going to be messed with. If I feel like that way, then I just leave, right? What I generally tend to do is when I get to a spot for the night, I will sit there for a little while and watch the area and get a better feel for the area, because sometimes you can arrive to a spot and immediately get the, if you want to call it heebie-jeebies, if you want to get the feeling of uneasiness, and you're just like, no, I don't feel comfortable here, I'm gonna leave. Then you leave right away. But sometimes you get to a place and you're like, yeah, I think this is fine. And then after being there for a little while, for whatever reason, something happens where you just don't feel as comfortable and end up leaving. So that has happened several times for no other reason than just how I was feeling. And maybe no one approached me, no one came up to me, there was nothing in the area. Maybe I just start looking on iOverlander. I'm sitting there, I'm just sitting there for a little while, kind of getting a feel for the area, and it's might be 7 o'clock in the evening, so it's too early to go to sleep or something like that. I'm just on iOverlander, and I see that just a few miles down the road, someone has said that they've stayed at a place that looks a lot better. Because on iOverlander, you can also post pictures. So someone might post a picture of a really better looking place. And so I will maybe drive and go to that place instead. But yeah, when I'm in the car, I absolutely lock the car. I have never considered turning off my key fob to drain the battery. That's probably a good point. I don't know how to turn off the key fob. I would have to take the battery out. And I mean, key fobs are not that easy to get into. At least mine isn't. You have to like crack it open like with like a little, like a small Phillips head screwdriver or something like that. Or not Phillips head, but a flat thread screwdriver. I don't have to take the battery out. So I don't think I'm going to do that. And honestly, I've had that battery in there for a while and it's never been an issue. So message right to, I'm thinking on following your stops from 1 year your Teardrop video. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, or pretty close to it. Also like to hook up with you at some point. Yeah, that'd be great. Absolutely, Glenn. Let me know when you are. I'm probably not going to be out east anytime soon that I know about. I'm probably going to stay out west for a while. So absolutely, if you get past, I would say Colorado, New Mexico, definitely hit me up. I'm always down to meet a subscriber or anything. Absolutely. I think that'd be really great. Definitely always let me know. I'm always down to do that. Yeah, anytime. And yeah, if you go into the iOverlander app, then you're probably going to see a lot of my suggestions of places I slept. In fact, it's funny is when I had my Teardrop trailer and I was on the West Coast or East Coast, it really doesn't matter. When I had my Teardrop trailer, I'd find a place to sleep and I would put it in the iOverlander app or make a comment in the iOverlander app about staying at a particular place. And there's been several times where just being in the car this past year, where I'm coming around to a place and I know I've been in that area before, but I just couldn't remember where I stayed. And I go into the iOverlander app and I see one of my posts about a place. So I've stayed at a couple places I've stayed in the past because, I knew it was safe and I knew it worked out last time. So I stayed there again. So you'll probably see at Escaping Normal Life in iOverlander as suggestions of places I've stayed at before. Yeah, so laundromats, I hope that helps. Laundromats for laundry. That was the last question I got. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Most of them take quarters. I've been to laundromats that have like their own card system, but I don't find that too often. That was more when I was out east in like Tampa area. They had you get to get it was like $1 for a card, but then you had to put money on this card. And the thing about that is then you're kind of stuck going to that one laundromat. And if you live in an area and that's the laundromat you have to go to weekly or bi-weekly or whatever, then it's fine. But I obviously not doing that. I'm obviously in a different place all the time. So I need a laundromat that takes quarters. 99.9% of them just take quarters, or some of them take tokens, but not like a specific token that's given to you only by the laundromat. It only works on their machines. And it's, of course, it's just a way for them to, I'm going to use the word monetize. It's a way for them to just monetize you keeping you in their facility, and that you can't spend that token somewhere else. You have to come back and use that token in their machines, right? So if you had $2 left over in tokens after getting change out of their token machine to use their machines, and you have $2 left over after doing your wash for the day, next week when you come back, you're going to go back there because you have $2 left over to use, right? So most places, some places do that, but most places are just quarters. I'm going to buy my first Teardrop. I want it really light. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to pull it with an EV. Oh, wow. Did you ever meet up with EVs pulling a Teardrop? I have not ever met up with EV pulling a Teardrop. What you can do, I'm not like the master at Teardrops. Don't get me wrong, okay? I had one and everything, and I know a little bit more about them, but I'm not a master at it. A really good channel is Playing with Sticks. You would have to look up, you just Google Playing with, I'll put him in the, so that is, maybe just type that into YouTube. His channel, from what I know, is he's up in Alaska, and he just does content almost specifically all about teardrops. And he gives you so much advice on teardrops. One of the teardrops I was looking at, because this car does not pull a lot, pulls 1,500 pounds max, was I was looking at one of these little motorcycle trailers. They're usually 500, 600 pounds. They're pretty small. They're just a place to sleep. But that might be an option for you, is to look at just a teardrop. I'm sorry, not a teardrop, but a motorcycle trailer, something very, very lightweight. I don't know what your EV pulls. So look at something like that. My Teardrop was called a Little Guy. I don't think they exist anymore. I don't think Little Guy's in business anymore. I think they actually partnered with another company called New Camp. But Little Guy trailers, you might find a used one. Mine was a 6 foot wide, but they make them down to like 4 foot wide. So if your car doesn't pull as much, then you may want, excuse me, then you may want a lighter trailer, of course. So helping you. So if you get something that's like 4 foot wide, then usually it's lighter, right? Because it's smaller. Big fan. I am loving. Oh, perfect. Thank you. Loving the live streams. Interesting that the quality of streams is so much better with your computer. Oh, cool. Well, 2 reasons possibly for that. The computer, and I jumped on. I have a small box here. So I use Nomad Internet. They sent me this box a while back, and I use that for Wi-Fi when I don't have good Wi-Fi. It's not always the most reliable thing in the world, but I am in a place with pretty good cell coverage. Basically, it's just a cell phone booster. It's from what I find about this thing. And when I jump on that, it does create a Wi-Fi network, and so that's why I was hoping that would work better this time. So yeah, I'm gonna try this format going forward. I'm gonna try the computer. I'm hoping to get better with the live streams as far as setting it up, because I noticed with the computer it asked me a ton more questions, and it also it was nice having the Wi-Fi. So I'll continue to use that. And that's due to your internet connection being stable. When you brush your teeth, where do you spit out the toothpaste? I'm going to be really honest with you. And this might sound gross to a lot of people. I usually swallow my toothpaste. I know that sounds a little gross. Sometimes I'll spit it out. The reason I swallow it is because I'm usually, I have camped in places where there's high wildlife activity, bears, things like that. And if you've done any kind of camping in any kind of area where there's wildlife, especially something bears, they will tell you do not keep anything outside or in your tent or anything like that that smells. Deodorant, toothpaste, chapstick, doesn't matter. Keep everything locked up. I'm from Florida, and me and my brother, who's on the stream right now, we have camped in a place that had bear boxes. So if you're camping and you see bear boxes, use them. They're there for a reason. Bear canisters. I keep everything in the car, obviously. So sounds a little gross, I get it, but a lot of times I just swallow my toothpaste because I don't want that on the ground to be attracting wildlife. If I do spit it out, it's usually because I'm not in a place where like I'm in the desert, so I'm not worried about it now. I just spit it on the ground, like, just rinse my mouth out with a little bit of water or something. What's your trailer manufacturer looking to get a Teardrop Northwest trailer after looking at a ton of good off-road capabilities? Well, the trailer I had, I'll just write down the brand it was called the Little Guy Teardrop. I don't think they're again in business anymore. It was called the Little Guy Teardrop. It was not built for off-road. One you might want to look at, they're expensive, but look at Escapade. Escapade teardrops. Super off-road capable, super expensive. Their minimum, I think, is the last time I looked at them, and this was like 2 years ago, was like 20 grand. They're not cheap, but they have an articulating coupler. So if your car, trying to get this on camera, so if your car is going straight and the teardrop is right behind it, this is all very hard on camera. And let's say your car does this, because you go over a rock or something like that, and the car starts to tilt and you start to go over a rock, the coupler on the teardrop over here stays flat. My coupler was not articulating, so that meant when the car hit a rock, right, like on the back wheel, but the teardrop was not being hit by the rock yet, everything shifted like this, and it put a ton of strain on the coupler, which is the center point where your hitch is to the car and the teardrop or the trailer. So that put a ton of strain on it. So if you can get an articulating coupler, they're more expensive. You can also get them aftermarket too. So just FYI. But it rotates, so it'll put a lot less strain in an off-road situation. So I would look at an articulating coupler if you're going to go off-road a lot. That'd be ideal, and I'm pretty sure they're aftermarket. You can get them adapted to like a regular trailer. I'll answer the teardrop question in a minute. There's also DIY outdoor life for teardrops. Okay. Yes, there's lots of DIY outdoor life. I don't know that that's a channel, but for teardrops. The tattoo on my right arm is the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Words to live by. I'm not religious, but I do believe in powerful words. I do have about 7 minutes. I have to wrap up. I have some plans for the day. But what other questions do you guys have for me? Check out Escapade trailers. Again, very expensive. Maybe what was the name of that trailer? Oregon trailers. I'll write it down. You might have to do a little Google on Oregon trailers. I think they make a really cool little teardrop called the Alpha Dewdrop. I'll write it down. Alpha Dewdrop. I think it was called the Alpha Dewdrop. That's by Oregon Trailers. Another one was, what was the name of that company? It's featured on Playing with Sticks, which is the channel I said earlier. Playing with Sticks YouTube channel. The guy just talks about talks about teardrops a lot. What was the name of that? Gosh. I'm drawing a total blank on the name of the. They're more of a square drop. So there's teardrops that have a round design, and then there's square drops that are just square. And it's boxy versus round. It's a little bit easier if you can do any kind of build out inside the teardrop, the square drop, if you do a boxy one. So your health insurance based on your income, is it expensive? My health insurance is based on my income. I have it through the healthcare.gov website. So mine's part of like Affordable Care Act. So it is based on income. I do not make a lot of money. So mine is not expensive. I pay very little for my health insurance, but because I don't make a lot of money. So I had to add on dental and vision. Those are the things I had to add on. How do you schedule your vehicle for services? Oh, that's a good idea. A question rather, such as oil changes, etc. Is it just scheduling for the next town you'll be in? Not really. I base it on time. So my car is Subaru and it takes synthetic oil. So usually synthetic means you can go about 6 months or every 6,000 miles. I push mine a little bit to 7,000 miles. I've never had an issue doing that. And I just do it based on mileage because 6 months would be way too long for me to go between oil changes because I do so much driving. In fact, I've done about 2,000 miles just in the past month. And that's when I got my last oil change. It was just over a month ago. I was in Flagstaff. So it was before New Year's, slightly before Christmas. So let's call it a month and a week and a half or a week or something like that. But I've already put on about 2,000 miles in my car. So I won't go 6 months. I'll go about every 3 to 4 months. 4 months being kind of average, 3.5 maybe. And I just do it, oil changes based on that. And I do usually stick with the dealership. I don't know. I kind of baby this car. It is my home. I want it to be running as smooth as possible. I know the dealership is generally a little expensive. For an oil change, I will take it to another place. It's just an oil change. I've done my own oil changes also. This car is pretty easy. The oil filter is actually really easy to get to. I just don't have a drip pan or a place to keep a drip pan or anything like that. So I've never done the oil changes in this car. But when I had a Jeep Wrangler and a Jeep Cherokee, I used to do my own oil changes to save a couple dollars. But that's only because I could keep an oil drip pan in the house or in my garage or in my apartment or whatever, and use that, and an oil filter clamp and everything to get it off. I don't have the luxury of having that stuff now. So I will take my car into a normal place, just a regular place to get an oil change, like a quick 5. I've done those before. Try to go to places that are pretty reputable. And I'll just do it, to answer your question, I'll just do it whenever I'm in a city. I'll just say, okay, I need to get an oil change, in like the next couple of weeks. The Flagstaff is on my path. I'll stop in Flagstaff, for example. That would be kind of like how I would just plan that. How do you schedule your videos? Okay, I already answered that. I'm running a Rustic Trails out of North Carolina. Okay. Rustic Trails is the name of your Teardrop, Glenn? Is that what you're saying? Rustic Trails? There's so many Teardrop companies out there. So many, yeah. I'm not as familiar with them, but yeah, there's so many cool ones, all right? Do you need to change a flat tire? I do know how to change a flat tire, yes. I do know how to do basic stuff on my car. I've even done like spark plugs on my car. It's been a long time, but I had to look it back up. But I've done spark plugs. I've done oil changes. I used to change gas, or not gas. I used to change the oil on my car. I've done basic stuff, pretty basic stuff. I've never done anything. I've never done brakes or anything like that. But yeah, I can do basic stuff in my car. All right, be safe out there. Thank you. See you down the road. Reminder, Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Yes, reschedule your Super Chat. Okay, good call. That is actually a good call. I'll look that up. Thank you, Glenn. I will. That's a good call. Super Bowl is usually in the evening, though, isn't it? It's usually like 6, 8 o'clock in the evening. I remember being on the East Coast and Super Bowl started at like 8 o'clock in the evening. You're like, why is it? It's always like it's a 4-hour game. It's not even over till midnight. But no, good call. Thank you. I'll look that up actually and see when the next Super Bowl is. All right, guys, I got about 1 more minute before I wrap up. Any last questions? Something simple that anybody is curious in that I can answer in the next minute or two? If that is it, I might wrap up. I'll give everybody just another minute maybe on here, see if anybody's just typing away. If you're like me and you type, I take a ton of mistakes. So I'm always like backspace. And yeah, but I hope that answers some questions. The laundry one's a good question. I do get that a lot. Laundry mats for laundry, eye overlander. Maybe next time, if everybody's curious, I'm not going to do it. Obviously, no one's curious about it, but I can cover how to use eye overlander. I know there's a way to like do like a split screen or something like that. So maybe I can do like a scenario where I can have my phone app and then show you navigate the eye overlander app. And I can show you how I find laundry mats through eye overlander. I can show you how I find water or places to sleep. Yes. Oh, perfect. Glenn, if you'd be interested in that, sure. If anybody else would be interested in that, that'd be a good topic. Because it's just a useful app. Like, so useful for, again, if you're just doing a long road trip and you're needing supplies, you're wanting to know where to find Wi-Fi, you're wanting to know a place to sleep, want to find water fill-ups. That's the stuff that iOverlander's for. iOverlander, you can even find hotels. You can find dog services, pet services. You can find points of interest. iOverlander is just like the Bible out here. So many people use it. So many nomads use it. All right. I gave everybody just another minute, and it looks like I actually gave them about 2 minutes. And I don't see any more questions pop on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much, especially D. Sattler, for jumping on the stream. But thank you, absolutely, everybody. And thank you so much. I think it was Glenn that gave me the super thanks. Yes. Thank you so much. Very, very appreciative. Just so much. Thank you so much. But I appreciate everybody that came out. These live streams are fun. I have a good fun time doing them because I get questions like laundry questions like this that I don't think I'm going to probably get as much in comments. So I like being able to answer questions during this. So thank you so much, Tim. Thanks. Stay safe, everybody. Thanks. Bye-bye.